to see me for a couple days. Whoa! And I didn't either, to be honest with you. Um, for those of you that have kind of been paying attention to what's been happening to me over the last few days, in a remarkable turn of events, and I'm going to pick my son up, by the way, so I excuse the appearance in my vehicle. At 4:15 on Wednesday afternoon, 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, I get two emails back to back. Both emails state that I had received a strike each. So 2 strikes according to YouTube. They were emails from YouTube. Anybody that's aware of how YouTube operates, it's kind of what you would expect. You get 3 strikes and then you're done. And what that means is 3 strikes by YouTube for terms and condition violations, and they will boot you off of YouTube permanently, forever. You do not get that channel back. In fact, I don't know if they let you back on, period, even if you created a new channel. But I've been working on this channel for 13 or 14 years. I put in a lot of work on this channel. And for them to give me 2 strikes at the exact same time, and that's what's weird about it, is both strikes came within seconds of one another. Like I was hit, somebody submitted both of those strikes at the same time. Oddly enough, those videos were about 6 weeks apart. So that means there was at least 40 videos in between the first strike and the second one. So they had to go through all these videos. So it was obvious that somebody was going through my videos. Possibly AI was doing it, maybe targeting me, but I mean, it could have been a person. I don't know. I really do believe it was AI, to be honest with you. I think they have really tight requirements on AI to monitor channels like mine and others that they don't agree with. So again, clearly somebody was on my channel in it to have caught 2 videos that were 40 videos apart, and you know, all of a sudden hit me with 2 strikes back to back at the exact same time. So I had really low confidence, but I submitted 2 very wordy appeals on those videos. One of the videos was on the Minneapolis shooter that had shot up that church, that Catholic church, and it was essentially a report. Now, I may have used the word TRANN, and then that usually ends with a Y at the end of that, being careful so I don't receive another strike in that report. I think that's why it happened. I think that's why I got the strike. My other video that they hit me for a strike was one where I discussed James Comey's friend, that was the college professor who he purposely leaked the information to so that that person would leak it to the New York Times. It was essentially a report. Now, there was no threat to Comey. There was no threat to the guy. There was no really weird wording. I probably didn't even say hell or damn in the video. It was one of the most innocent reports that I could put out. So the reason why I was so concerned at the time was I'm thinking to myself, dude, if they hit me for strikes, for 2 strikes, and I'm only 1 strike away from losing my channel permanently, if they hit me for 2 strikes over these videos, they definitely gonna find something else. Because I have way worse videos where I've said things. Because the reasons they hit me for on both videos was harassment and cyberbullying. That was the I guess the category of violation that I supposedly had violated. Again, harassment and cyberbullying. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I know they're going to find others. I know they are. I'm like, if they pop me for those 2, there's 100 other videos out there where I say worse things than this. So I know I'm going to be getting the 3rd strike any day now. So I was essentially just waiting to see when they popped me for the 3rd strike and just booted me permanently. Well, I constructed 2 longly worded emails, and I'm not really good at the spoken Like, you guys notice that whenever I put a video together, I use a lot of words like and I may not be as fluent whenever I speak, but I can write. And I pride myself on the written word more than the spoken word. So I wrote 2 very eloquent appeals and sent them to YouTube, explaining both videos, explaining what I said in the video, explaining the context, giving them timestamps that if you go back and look at this time frame, you're going to see what I said and what I meant. And I'm shocked. Apparently it worked. YouTube granted both of my appeals. YouTube removed both strikes. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I expected them to remove one just to have a shot across the bow at me. Like, I felt like best case scenario, I would have one removed just for them to show compassion or whatever. But I never expected them to pull both of them. I am absolutely shocked. I'm not going to give YouTube credit because YouTube has jacked with me enough that I'm not going to sit here and all of a sudden say that they're trying to do the right thing. I do think that a human probably got involved, and a human realized that if I got popped a 3rd time and lost my channel for good, I realized they have really good attorneys, but the reasons that they popped me for were not legitimate reasons. And I feel like if you look at it from a livelihood standpoint, they would have let AI, non-humans, take away livelihood where I put food on my family's table over AI overreacting on something that AI didn't quite understand from a contextual standpoint. So I think that's why. I don't think YouTube did it because they're nice people. I don't think they did it because it's the right thing to do. I think they did it because they realized, yeah, AI screwed up. This man should not have these strikes. As painful as it was to remove the strikes, I don't think they wanted to, but I think they realized they had to because I was right and my appeals were spot on. So yeah, as of today, I am a free man again. Of course, for 2 whole days, 2.5 days, I guess, not 2 whole days, they've had me completely shut down, which is really a shame. I haven't been able to do anything. I stress all the time that, hey, if you don't see my video for the day, go look for it, because I put one out every day. And then here I am for 2 days, you guys don't see a video from me. And I had a lot of you were emailing me, commenting on other videos, looking for me on X or wherever, saying, hey man, where's your video? I thought you were putting one out every day. And that's where I said, hey, this is what happened. What I'm going to do is try to be a little bit more diligent, because this won't be the last time YouTube does this. Certainly AI is not going to let up. They're going to find some of those other videos of mine that I do believe are probably worse. So I'm going to push everybody. I'm going to start uploading a lot of my videos to Thinktown Podcast here on YouTube. Again, that's Thinktown Podcast. I'm going to use that as a backup channel, but as a full-time channel, if something ever happens to this channel, which is very likely. But I've been doing some testing on X. I am going to start uploading all my videos to X, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do that. X, because of the way X is put together, it's not real video friendly is the best way I know to say that. And I mean, from a topical standpoint, it's not real video friendly because it's the feed is so driven, and it's driven by content that's being posted regularly. And I may forward or post, 15, 20, 30 times a day. Well, what that'll do is if I put one video out during all that posting, that video gets shoved down to where you don't even see it. Like, you won't know that I put out another video. So that's where it makes it hard, because if you're you may not want to look at the rest of the content that I post on X, but you may want to see the videos. Well, if you go out to my X account, you may not see the video. Well, when Elon took over X, I created my third account, because under the old Twitter days, they had already deleted 2 of my previous accounts because they got their feelings hurt for things that I had said. So when Elon took over, I said, okay, I'm going to give it another chance. So I created my third account. Well, during that time, somebody from X reinstated one of my other accounts that had been crushed. So weirdly, I have 2 X accounts now. And I was going to cancel the other one to avoid any confusion, because a lot of people go look for me on X, and instead of going to Paul_of_LAA, they find the other one and they follow that one, and I'm not really posting there. So I think what I'm going to do is keep the other channel, and I think I'm going to start uploading all of my videos every single day to that other X channel that I have. So I'll post my constant content on the Paul of LAA X page, but the other X page, I will put strictly videos. So that way, if you go out there to look for videos, all you're gonna find is just videos that I've posted. In other words, just like YouTube would be, where you see just videos. So I think that's how I'm gonna handle that. I think that's probably the best way to do it. It gives me a decent backup for people to follow me there and be able to catch those videos. I will also be pushing them all to Rumble. I know I kind of slipped a little bit on that and wasn't putting them out there. I don't think many people watch the videos on Rumble, but I know a couple of people do, so I'll put them out there. And of course, Facebook. I'll probably start putting some stuff on Facebook. Bottom line is, remarkably, YouTube granted my 2 appeals. They removed both strikes that they gave me in the same day at the same time. So I'm back. I'm going to be a little bit more aware of, in post-production when I'm editing my videos, if I use a word like TRANN and then a letter Y, if I happen to use that kind of word, I will probably start bleeping myself in the video so that it doesn't audibly play. That way it doesn't give YouTube a chance, if that word hurts their feelings, it doesn't give them a chance to pop me for that if I have it bleeped out. I don't want to completely change the words that I use, because then I think it changes the delivery and it makes me think too much about what I'm saying. And I don't want to get to a point where I'm so worried about what I say that it changes my delivery, my message, and all of that. I don't want to change that at all. But I'm ecstatic, because I had gotten a little bit, I don't want to use the word depressed, but I'm going to use the word depressed, over the last day, because I'm thinking to myself, I know people work harder than me. There's always somebody working harder than you, but I work pretty hard on my videos. I do a lot of research. I work through the night. I wake up early in the morning, sometimes as early as 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, to do research if I haven't done enough the night before. Try to pull screenshots. I try to reveal my sources. I try to show every single thing that I have out there. And I do my best to really push that, so that when you watch one of my videos, no one can say that guy's full of crap, because I've provided you way more information than what you actually needed to know that I was telling the truth during the whole thing. And you can counter somebody else's stupid arguments, because I'm providing sources and numerical data for you to share also. So again, I don't want to use the word depressed, but I will. I had gotten a little bit sad, let me say that, because I'm thinking, I work pretty hard on this channel, and to have these goofs be able to just make it go away in the blink of an eye just because somebody's feelings got hurt. I get it if you don't appreciate what I have to say. I get it if you don't like what I have to say. I certainly get it if you don't agree with what I have to say. That's a beautiful thing about America. But you shouldn't want to take somebody's livelihood away just because you have a different opinion. Because nothing I said in either of those videos was incorrect, or nothing was out of line. Again, I have hundreds of videos where I've said way more fiery things than either one of those videos. So it was really ridiculous for me to look at it and realize that, YouTube really could just take this away if they wanted to. I'm going to have a video. I know some of you started watching the video that I had uploaded Wednesday. It's my interview with Rachel Moss from Attorneys on Retainer regarding the Arkansas dad who shot the attacker of his daughter. That interview started playing, and I believe it got 8 minutes into it and then it stopped playing. That was whenever they hit me with the strikes and shut my channel down on Wednesday. So that video is what I'm going to play today. I'm going to have a really good video tomorrow on the food stamp issue going on and the government shutdown with some really compelling numbers. And I think the numbers are going to really speak to you. I was researching that this morning. I was going to put a video out no matter what. I was just going to put it on Thinktown Podcast and on X. So I'd already started working on the video, and it's pretty interesting when you look at the culture that we have created in this country. where we have multi-generational young people who watch their parents, their able-bodied parents, sit on the couch on their ass all day long, and they never see their parents actually work. The hardest they see a parent work is filling out a form to get government welfare. That's the hardest they actually see their parent work. So I'm putting a video out that should be my topic for tomorrow, and it'll be very, very interesting. Hope you guys will tune in tomorrow. But 5 p.m. Central Standard Time today is going to be my next video. It's already in the can. It's already ready. It's very, very interesting from an attorney standpoint to hear them talk about somebody taking the law into their own hands. It's always interesting to me to see that. So I wanted you guys to know, if you would just join me at 5 p.m. Central today for that video, and I'm happy to be back. Thank you to all of you who went looking for my channel, who went looking for me, trying to find out what was going on. Thank you to all of you who went to these other places like Thinktown Podcast, my X channel. Thanks to all of you who went and started following me in those other places. I still encourage you to follow me there because, again, I don't think this is the last of this. YouTube's not going to stop what they're doing. They're just going to continue on. So if you would still follow me over there as backup, I think that those are good places. Again, Thinktown Podcast on YouTube is one that, you know, I'll definitely be uploading all my videos there. So again, thanks guys. I will see you all in about less than 4 hours, about 3.5 hours for my video for today. But I just want to let you guys know that I am back, and thank you so much for everybody who was asking, inquiring, and looking for me. I really appreciate that, guys. We'll see you all a little bit later this afternoon.